Why don't you unmute and we'll see if anybody has some thoughts on how athletes and volunteers can use this. All right, in my view, I've got Natasha first, so we'll just go around. So we'll start with Natasha and then we'll do Jacob, Tim, Mary.
Sure. I definitely felt like as a
You got to come closer because we can't hear you.
Is that better?
Yeah, it's a little better.
As
we want to hear you.
I really felt like this would be useful as far as like the way that I make turns and my body positioning, you know, when I'm heel side versus toe side, especially if I'm moving faster and making some more aggressive turns or carving or anything like that.
Cool.
Yeah, I have to agree with Natasha.
You got to come closer.
Switching from your toe side to heel side, you can really, you know, feel what we just did there.
Cool. Tim?
I like doing everything, how your head is maybe moving it up and down, but your head is still facing the same way. So you get the same view, even though you might be doing some like weight transitioning and things like that during the during this lesson.
Yeah, and this one, I know you're a golfer. The golfers love this one too, because you get into that position with the arms long and coming up, and then the arms long until you open the chest. So just to be multi-seasonal. Mary?
I think this is a great way to prepare.
Come closer. I know, I made you guys get away from the cameras.
I think this is a great way to get ready for a long day of skiing, to like stretch out and use all your muscles before you're up on the mountain. I think it's a great way to like stretch out your back and know all the ways that you're going to be turning. So it's a good preparation for a long day of skiing.
Cool. And then I hope that people, you know, sports buddies, volunteers and athletes will think about this as a way to communicate with one another on the mountain. Maybe they can think about these ribbons and tethers and communicate in ways that'll make it even more fun to be on the mountain. So
Back to another edition of Awareness Through Movement, Snow Sports Edition. Thank you, Jackie, for being with us again for this series, and I'll let you take it away.
all right, so welcome everybody. We are anxiously awaiting the snow dump. It's been late this year and we're all kind of vibrating in anticipation of when the mountain is going to open up. So while we're waiting, we might as well do a little awareness through movement. So today's lesson is, I like to call it the buddy lesson, because we're going to be using the image of a tether to help us sit up straight, and also to imagine being on the mountain and being connected with your perfect sports partner and having that relationship be part of the whole experience. Also, this lesson is really good if you do any desk jockeying and you find yourself slumping. This is a great way to remind yourself to sit up straight. And of course, it's applicable to golf and kayaking and just about everything else you want to do. So take a deep breath. And let's begin by getting up to the edge of the chair so that your sit bones are kind of at the edge of the chair and your thighs are pretty level with the floor and feet down below your knees. And take a deep breath and just notice now where the breath is coming in. And while you're doing that, notice the sit bones. The sit bones are your connection to the ground. If you're a seated skier, then really essential that you feel that connection. Standing skiers, snowshoers, Nordic skiers, You're a little bit further up, the legs are in the way, but it's all about the pelvis. So today we're going to be sitting up straight. So want you to imagine a tether that is magically or actually attached right here, center of your chest. If you're more philosophical, you can think of it as a sunbeam or a ribbon. But that tether is now connected right here, and your perfect buddy, your perfect ski partner, is drawing that tether forward. So the tether comes forward, and you get, that's it, your chest starts to open and come forward. And you might feel your shoulder blades coming together in the back. Good. And the tether draws forward. You might find yourself rocking on those sit bones. And you might try taking an inhale as the tether comes forward, and then exhaling as you come back to neutral. And inhale and exhale. A few more at your own pace. Nice. Now, I'm going to shift our focus to just in the back of where that tether was. And now it's your best friend just giving you a little push between the shoulder blades. Maybe you're trying to get over to the lift and your skis are kind of stuck, and your perfect partner just gives you a little guide between the shoulder blades, guiding you forward. So the shoulder blades might come together a little bit, and you come back to center, and then that gentle guiding forward. And you might find that the front of your chest comes forward and guiding you forward. And you might put it together that this pulling forward with the tether and being guided from behind is actually the same move, but when you think of it from the opposite direction, it sometimes feels differently. So just noticing for yourself, are you someone who likes to be pulled forward? Are you someone who likes to be guided from behind? And that's kind of a personality test. And then you can let that go and just take a moment to rest, and just notice now if this idea of being drawn forward, being guided forward, has changed the way your breath is coming in. Good. And now the tether is in the back between your shoulder blades. So the tether is behind you, and now your partner is drawing back on the tether. So you're being drawn back, and you come back to center, draw back, and your back rounds. Maybe your shoulder blades kind of come apart. So maybe somebody's helping slow you down so that you don't slip on the ice. Or, you know, the little kids that are on the tether and you're like, hold them back. Good. And as you're being drawn back, maybe you can think about your spine getting very long. So it's not that you're doing a slump. I mean, we can all slump, but that doesn't feel good. Drawing back and letting the back get long is a different feeling and more conscious and more in control. Good. And then let that go. And now that gentle friend, that perfect friend, is now going to guide your chest back a little bit. Good. And maybe you take a breath in and release the breath as your friend guides you back. Maybe you're slipping forward in the line, the lift line, because it's icy, and someone's just gonna turn around and keep you from sliding into everybody else. And maybe you feel how your shoulder blades get wide in the back. And again, it's not about doing a slump. It's about letting the back get long as you round the back a little bit. Good, good. And then let that go. And then there's a tether in front. There's a tether in back. And you've got one friend there, one from there, and they're playing a little game with you. So one's drawing you forward, and then the one in the back draws you back. So you're drawn forward, and then you're drawn back. And see if you can find a way to let the spine down below the shoulder blades respond. Good. Really nice. You might even, exactly. You might even find that your head gets a little heavy as you're drawn back, and your head gets a little lighter, and you even feel like looking up as your head comes up. That's it. That's good. That's it. Very nice. Yeah. You guys are all getting more movement in the chest. It's really beautiful to watch. Great. And let that go. And we've done the top, but all of the weight and the big bones and the big muscles are here in the hips. And it's the hips that actually drive the movement. So now the tether is kind of right at your belt buckle. And that tether is now drawing you forward, but down at the belt buckle level. So you may be feeling drawn forward. You may feel those rocking right over the sit bones. Yeah. And see if you can keep your chest soft while you do this. So let your belly go soft as you're drawn forward from way down here at the belt buckle. And maybe you inhale as you're drawn forward and exhale as you release. So when you're drawn forward like this, you're likely to pick up speed, but you want to make sure that you're aligned or you're going to do a good face plant. And that's not fun. So draw forward. And now that friend in the lift line puts his or her hand on your low back, right here on the sacrum. And they just give you a little guiding forward. So you let the sacrum come a little forward. Sure, use your hand. The sacrum comes forward. Let your belly be soft. And really let that movement go all the way up your spine, because the hips are connected to the ribs, connected to the shoulders, connected to the head. Yeah, good. So you're being guided forward. And your hips are getting a little bit softer. If you're a sit skier, you're picking up some speed. And then changing gears, slowing down. The tether is now where the belt buckle in the back is, and it's drawing you back from the low back. So yeah, so the low back gets drawn back. That's it. That's it. Good. Good. And you might find yourself rocking back. You might feel your shoulder blades responding by coming apart, because this is the other way to get the back long. So the back is getting long. Good. And you keep your belly soft. Good. And then you imagine the perfect friend. Now this might be a little personal, so use discretion, but now they're pushing at your belt buckle. So the gentle friend, the friend is just kind of guiding your belt buckle back a little bit. And it's a lot like what we just did, but it's coming from the front. And you keep your belly soft, and maybe you feel your spine getting long. You feel the shoulder blades coming apart. And maybe this is part of your turn. And then the tether is here, right here in the front. The tether is in the back. You've got one friend there. You've got one friend there. They're playing a game with you. One pulls you forward, and then the other one pulls you back. So what you're finding is that you're rolling on your pelvis, and let it go all the way up your spine. Feel that wave. See if you can let your shoulders become engaged. Good. And that's it. Drawing forward, rolling back. And let your chest get soft. When you're rolling back, let your chest get a little softer. That's it. That's it. And then as you're rolling forward, you can open up a little bit. That's it. That's it. And when you're opening up, you're picking up speed. And when you're rocking back, as long as you stay upright, you might be slowing down a little bit. Or you're responding to your partner saying, slow down, you're going to get out of control. Don't want you to flip. Good. All right. And let that go. And just take a moment now to kind of breathe into your chest, breathe into the ribs, and then breathe into your hips. And maybe rocking back and forth a little bit. And you might say, all right, that was okay, but I want more. So now the tether now goes up at a diagonal. So it's as if you're the 5-year-old and it's the parent who's got the tether and they're pulling, and it's pulling your chest up. So before we were coming straight across, now we're being drawn up, and you can even let your head full back as you feel that chest open. And if this is something you can do when you're at your desk and you find yourself all slumped up, and you can just imagine that being drawn up, yes. And can you find that spot between the shoulder blades? Good. That's it. Yes, 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 yes. Good, good. And now your favorite friend has the tether in the back. And again, it's like you're the little kid and it's a big parent. And now they're drawing you sort of up and away. So it would be like a mother cat grabbing the kitten by the nape. So you're going to be drawn up and back. So kind of lifting, yeah. And really let that lift come up, and you really let the shoulder blades slide apart. And you even let your neck get long and your head get heavy so that your head really comes down. And yeah, really let that nose look down between your feet. Yes, that's it. Look down. That's it. Good. Now, this is a super slump. If you're at your desk sometimes and you feel like you're slumping, this is something you can do also to get out of it. You can go into that super slump, and then when you kind of pop out, you're a little more upright. Yeah. Okay, and now the tether lifts you up, chest opens, head goes back, and then the tether between the shoulder blades, or maybe it's the mother cat pulling up on the ribbon, and your head comes down, and let that movement come all the way through your spine. Roll that, yeah. See if you can let the chest be soft. And that's it, that's it. And the shoulder blades really come apart when you're rolling down. That's it. Nice. And as you're rolling down, you can actually look down to let the whole spine get long. That's it. And reaching up and really opening, and then good. That's it. And this slumping, super slump, you know, you got to reach down to fix your boot or pick up your pole. Allowing your back to do this super slumping gives you more control. Or maybe you snowboarders have to do whatever you guys do with the latches on your bindings, or even reaching down maybe to do one of those flippy things. I don't know, some of the tricks. Good. Okay. So we've gone up and up. And now the ribbon or the tether is down at the belt buckle. And the weight of the tether draws down, and let that go all the way up your spine so that the weight of the tether, the weight of the skier who maybe is attached to your hips, you are able to transmit that force all the way through your body. So you're transmitting up and you're going to transmit down into your legs. See if you can find that. So really let it come up, let the chest open, that's it. Yeah, beautiful. And then back to center. Good. And again, the skier gets ahead of you and you ground down by allowing that force to move all the way through your body. That's it. Nice. And now, of course, we've done here and the front. So we have to now, to balance out, attach that tether in the back of your jeans. And it's going to be pulling down. So maybe you're the lead skier and there's a skier behind you with the tether and you're being pulled back by their weight. So see if you can find that. So you're being pulled back and down, and you allow that force to go all the way through your center. That's it. So you're not being pulled, bleh. You're not being pulled backwards. You're using your whole body to stabilize. Now, applying this to cross-country skiing, we'll get there. And applying that to snowshoeing, we'll get there. So just take a break now because you guys have been doing a lot of work. So take a moment now and just kind of feel around inside, see what it's like. Notice if you're maybe sitting up a little straighter. And maybe you feel a little more support from the pelvis right up to the whole body, right up to the head. Good. And no, this one's a short lesson. Good. Now we play some games. And this is, it's a little abstract. So if you don't get it, it's okay. Just do your best. So we're going to now change the tether so that it runs through your body. So that sounds weird, but the tether now we're going to try is attached to the back of your jeans, but in your imagination, it comes up through the center of your body and comes out the chest. So there's this long line from the, and you can imagine maybe it's on the inside, there's this long line that goes from here and through the body and out here. So see if you can get that in your imagination. And now this tether gets pulled up. So it pulls up the chest And lo and behold, it takes the sacrum with it. So see if you can find that. So yes, that's it. Pulls up the chest and it pulls the sacrum. So we're attaching top to bottom. Yes, she's got it. She's laughing. She's got it. Good, that's one. And now we'll have the tether now again down here in the front. And now you're going to be pulled apart. So one tether is pulling down towards the floor. The other tether is pulling up. And again, see what that's like. So the pelvis is pulled down and the chest is pulled up. Again, yes. And again, you find your front getting long, your back arching. And if you're Nordic skiing, this is your extension. Good. And then we can do the other side. So now let's have the tether come between the shoulder blades and at the back of your jeans. And again, one's pulling down, the other's pulling up so that you really get into that slump. But now the pelvis gets pulled down, the shoulders get pulled up, and you find yourself leaning back, but see if you can let your back go long. So it's not that you're falling back. It's not that you're slumping. It's that you're finding extension by letting the pelvis rock down and the shoulder blades are actually being pulled up. Yeah, cool. That's it. Good. You guys are doing great. Okay, we're going to play another inside the body. So we're going to go back to the tether that went this way. But now it's going to, the end is leashed here. And it goes through your body and it comes out here behind at the loop of your jeans, and it pulls down and your low back rounds and it pulls your chest in. So it's just kind of like what we just did, but from a different direction. So you're being pulled down and the chest responds. So everything is connected and moving together. Yeah. Pulling down. And then again, pulling up. It pulls the low back up. And then it connects with the chest and you get that elongation. And now let's tie the other way. So the tether is going to come out the shoulder blades, but it's going to go down through the body at a diagonal, and it's here on the inside of your jeans. And that perfect friend is pulling up and your back gets long and the front of the pelvis gets pulled back. So again, everything, the back gets real long and the back of the shoulder blades are connected to the front of the pelvis. See if you can find that. Yep. Right. And then let's pull in the other direction. So now the tether is being pulled down between your legs and the pelvis rocks forward. And it pulls between the shoulder blades. It brings those shoulder blades together. Your back arches, your chest comes up. Right, exactly. And now you get to choose a combination that you liked. So I'll just review them. To make your front get long, there was the tethers pulling in the opposite direction in the front. There was the one where we pull the chest up and the low back comes with it. And this one, the one in the front that makes the front come down and the back gets arched with it. So those are the sitting up straighter ones. And then the slumping ones, which have a value. If you're horseback riding, this is how you sit back in the saddle when you're posting. So I work with riders, and for them, this is coming up for the post, and this is getting down into the saddle and stable in the saddle. And I imagine that some of the sit skiers are going to know exactly how to use this. So again, for going back, there's the tether here and here, pulling apart. The low back comes down, the shoulder blades separate. The one where it pulls down with the low back and the chest is attached. And then the one where, which one is it? This one, this one. Has to be. And there's one more, which I can't think of right now. So see which ones work for you. Just give it a try. This one, and oh, this one, right, this one. So between the shoulder blades connecting to the front of the pelvis, pulling the shoulder blades apart, and then that draws the pelvis up. So think about which ones might be good for you to bring with you to the mountain. When you find yourself getting slumped, when you find that your core is not working right, the one that's going to help you get that longest glide. I don't know how you guys do it, but, and on skis. And that is this lesson. And you guys have done a great job because it does get a little kind of goofy up there at the end. So take a deep breath, pat yourself on the head. So thank you guys, and we'll see you again soon. All right, bye-bye.